Alright, anybody that hasn't seen the movie yet, spoilers, okay? Spoilers, so don't watch it if you haven't seen the movie yet, so. You ever watch a movie and think to yourself, like, this movie should have came out, like, a long time ago. Like, this movie should have came out years ago. That's the feeling that I got watching this movie. I've been waiting since, like, the first, like, Avengers movie for Black Widow to get her movie, to finally get her movie. It's been years, and now, 2021, we finally got a Black Widow movie. But my question is, Marvel, why did it take so long to make a Black Widow movie? You gave Captain Marvel her own movie before Black Widow. And Black Widow was really the first, like, woman on the Avengers team, if you think about it. So, I'm struggling to find why it took so long to finally make her own movie. And, like, for them to give Captain Marvel a movie before her. You know what I mean? Scarlett Johansson, congratulations. You finally got your own movie. Even though it took a long time. But it was worth it. So, in case anybody that watches the movie is confused with the timeline, this is supposed to take place like right after Civil War. It starts with her being hunted by General Ross. You know, the general that was after Hulk. You know, he's after her because of what happened in Civil War with the Sokovia Accords. You know, her betraying, you know, Iron Man. You know, and letting Bucky go free. So yeah, this takes place like right after Civil War, and they talk about it like frequently through the movie. They mention the Avengers, and she mentions like she can't talk to them, or the Avengers like broke up, or her and Tony Stark aren't talking at the moment. Yeah, so this is definitely right after Civil War. One thing I was happy that this movie did, they showed her origins. Thankfully, they showed her origin. They showed her being a little girl, you know, with her family and her sister. They had to leave America, and they had to go to Cuba, whatever. And and this actually fits into Age of Ultron, because remember Age of Ultron, Scarlet Witch, you know, messed with her head, and they showed flashbacks of the program that she went through to be an assassin. Yeah, it fits in with that. One thing I'm glad this movie did, I'm glad that they dug in more to her Russian origin, because, you know, in the comics, Black Widow, Natasha Romanoff, she's Russian. So it kind of irked me the whole time watching all the Marvel movies with her in it, that she was talking American. She would never talk about her Russian, you know, family or nothing like that. So I'm happy that they dug in more to her Russian side. And they even showed her speaking Russian too, so I was happy about that. The fight scenes in this movie were pretty crazy. Like, you ever watch a movie and you ever watch like a fight scene that makes you cringe? Not like cringe like it's bad, no, like cringe like it looks like that really hurt. Like that's the type of fight scenes that were in this movie. Like the part where Black Widow fights her sister in that apartment, like they were like she threw Natasha to like a door, and like I think she hit her leg on the window, and like the window like smashed, and like all glass was on her leg, and like she banged her sister's head on one of the cabinets. I was like, yeesh, this is intense. They also showed, I guess you could say, the Russian version of Captain America, Red Guardian. He was an idiot. But he was an idiot with funny moments. Like, I thought his character was funny. And interesting, he's actually injected with super soldier serum, so he has like super strength. He pretty much has most abilities that Steve did. And his costume is very similar to Captain America. The only difference is the costume is red and not blue. What else? Oh yeah, he's played by the dude from Stranger Things. I think his name is David Harbour or something like that. Yeah, yeah. So the villain in this movie was interesting. It was Taskmaster, which if you're not familiar with the villain Taskmaster, he's able to like mimic other superheroes like moves by studying them. So he pretty much like studied all. Well, in the movie it was a she, but in the comics it's supposed to be a he. But in the movie, Taskmaster, she was able to mimic all the Avengers moves. So like the fight scenes with her and Natasha, her and Red Guardian, like she mimicked Captain America. She had her own shield. She mimicked Hawkeye, Black Panther. She even mimicked Natasha. And like she had some kind of super strength, but I'm not sure where she got the strength from. Like I have three guesses. It was either Captain America strength, Thor strength, or Hulk strength. I'm not sure though. Yeah, but this movie was pretty good though. At the end, it also leaves you a clue of what happens after Endgame. Because remember, she dies in Endgame, and remember after she died, they were all wondering if she had family. Well, Tony said, "Do we know she had family?" And none of them know that she has family. So her sister was at her grave, and then I forgot her name, but the woman from Falcon and Winter Soldier, she showed up to the one who made John Walker the U.S. agent. She showed up to her sister, to Black Widow's sister, and she pretty much gave her like some information saying Hawkeye killed your sister, which we all know that's not true, but I guess she's messing with her head for some reason. So I guess we know what's coming, like for the Hawkeye TV show. I don't know. Yeah, but I think this movie should have came out years ago. It should have came out like it should have came out either in 2016 or 2017. But it shouldn't have come out this year. Like honestly, it shouldn't have taken so long for Black Widow to get her own movie. Cuz like I said, she was like the first woman on the Avengers team, so it's kind of like a special thing, you know what I mean? She was the first woman and she was the only woman until like Age of Ultron. You know what I mean? So they showed the identity of Taskmaster. So Taskmaster is actually the daughter. All right, let me go back a little bit. So the whole program that Natasha was in was being run by some guy. I forget his name at the moment, but and Natasha wanted to kill the guy, but instead she wanted to kill the daughter instead, because the guy had a daughter. So she actually tried to kill the dude's daughter. She gave her daughter like a bomb and blew her up, or at least tried to blow her up. But it turns out she survived and she became Taskmaster. So that was interesting. It was funny. There was one part where Red Guardian, where they were. Well, actually, Natasha and her sister, they went to get Red Guardian because he was in prison. And it was funny because in prison he was arm wrestling people while getting a tattoo. But he was also like making up lies that he fought Captain America. And then one of the inmates asked him like, "Yo, like what year was this?" And he said 1984. And they were all like, Captain America was still frozen. Another reason why I'm happy this movie came out is because it shows how great Natasha is without the Avengers, because for so long, like if you watch all the Marvel movies with her in it, it felt like she needed to be a part of the Avengers to be great, if that makes sense. Like you know how Hawkeye, like not a lot of people like Hawkeye or pay attention to him, and they feel like Hawkeye needs to be a part of the Avengers just to be great. Like, it kind of felt like that energy was also on Black Widow. Like, she was a good fighter, she's a cool character, but it just felt like she needed to be a part of the Avengers just to be great. Like, But this movie shows that she's great all on her own. Like, she doesn't need Captain America, she doesn't need Iron Man, she doesn't need Hulk, Thor, she doesn't need none of the Avengers. Like, she's like great on her own. So like I'm happy that the movie like showed that. I think my favorite character in this movie was definitely Black Widow's sister, because her sister was hilarious. She was making fun of Natasha's like pose, like how she does this, and you know how she flips her hair, and she was like, why do you always do that? Like everybody's looking at you. I was like, and then she winds up doing the same thing. Like later in the movie, she does the same exact pose, and she's like, ugh. And like she makes fun of Red Guardian's costume. She calls him the Crimson Dynamo. That was funny. Um, the part where they had to break Red Guardian out of prison. She actually, there was actually an avalanche coming because it was like a snowy mountain type of environment. So it was an avalanche coming, and she was like, "This is a cool way to die." I was like, "What? What?" Oh man, it was funny hearing her curse in Russian, like because while she was speaking Russian, like she called Natasha the B word. That was funny. I doubt there's gonna be a Black Widow sequel because you know Natasha, she's dead, so I doubt there's gonna be a sequel. Oh, it also fills in the gaps with Infinity War, because remember Infinity War, she had like short blonde hair. They also show that at the end, like with her having the short blonde hair, and her getting that like Quinjet thing to rescue the to rescue the others and that were still in prison. Because remember, Tony, after after the airport fight, he locked up Falcon and the others like Scarlet Witch and Ant-Man. He locked them up, so they showed her getting a Quinjet and going to get them out of prison. So that fills in the gaps with them. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say. It was a good movie. It should have came out years ago. You know. Yeah. That's about it.